All right. Good evening. It is May 10th, 2022, 8:31 p.m. This will be our Dr. Julius Nairi, CDPM, UNIA-ACL Division 421 study group for tonight. And tonight we're looking at the book Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. We'll just be reading some selected passages from the text. As always, we're not going to do the whole pledge, but we'll start with to make the meeting official: one God, one aim,
One aim,
one destiny.
one destiny.
Let me see. The first one I wanted to start with, since we are here in Atlanta. Without going to the All right, that's on page 29. The topic is titled Traitors. And Garvey says, in the fight to reach the top, all right, let me start over. In the fight to reach the top, the oppressed have always been encumbered by the traitors of their own race, made up of those with little faith and those who are generally susceptible to bribery for the selling out of the rights of their own people. As Negroes, we are not entirely free of such an encumbrance. To be outspoken, I believe we are more encumbered in this way than any other race in the world, because the lack of training and preparation for fitting us for our place in the world among nations and races. The traitor of the races is generally confined to the mediocre or irresponsible individual. But unfortunately, the traitors among the Negro race are generally to be found among the men highest placed in education and society, the fellows who call themselves leaders. For us to examine ourselves thoroughly as a people, we will find that we have more traitors than leaders, because nearly everyone who essays to lead the race at this time does so by first establishing himself as the pet of some philanthropist of another race, to whom he will go and debase his race in the worst form, humiliate his own manhood, and thereby win the sympathy of the great benefactor, who will dictate to him what he should do in the leadership of the race. It is generally, quote, you must go out and teach your people to be meek and humble. Tell them to be good servants, loyal and obedient to their masters. If you will teach them such a doctrine, you can always depend on me to give you $1,000 a year or $5,000 a year for the support of yourself, the newspaper, or the institution you represent. I will always recommend you to my friends as a good fellow who is all right, end quote. With this advice, this water. With this advice and prospect of patronage, the average Negro leader goes out to lead the unfortunate mass. The leaders tell us how good Mr. So-and-so is, how many good friends we have in the opposite race, and that if we leave everything to them, all will work out well. This is the kind of leadership we have been having for the last 50 years. Excuse me. Okay. This is the kind of leadership we have been having for the last 50 years. It is nothing else but treachery and treason of the worst kind. The man who will compromise the attitude of his country is a traitor. And even so, the man who will compromise the rights of his race can be classified in no other way than that of a traitor also. Not until we settle down as 400 million people and let the men who have placed themselves in the lead of us realize that we are disgusted and dissatisfied, and that we shall have a leadership of our own and stick by it when we get it, we will be able to lift ourselves from this mire of degradation to the heights of prosperity, human liberty, and human appreciation. Okay. Let's see. Present day civilization. All right, I'll just go to the next one. Next section is titled Present Day Civilization. It's also chapter 111. It's page 31. We are circumvented today by environments more dangerous than those which circumvented other peoples in any other age. We are face to face with environments in a civilization that is highly developed, a civilization that is competing with itself for its own destruction, a civilization that cannot last because it has no spiritual foundation, a civilization that is vicious, crafty, dishonest, immoral, irreligious, and corrupt. We see a small percentage of the world's populace feeling happy and contented with this civilization that man has evolved. And we see the masses of the human race, on the other hand, dissatisfied and discontented with the civilization of today. The arrangement of human society. Those masses are determined to destroy the systems that hold up such a society and prop such a civilization. As by indication, the fall will come. A fall will cause the universal wreck of the civilization that we now seek. And in this civilization, the Negro is called upon to play his part. He is called upon to evolve a national ideal based upon freedom, human liberty, and true democracy. Okay. This one sounds interesting. I haven't read it, but sounds interesting. It's titled Universal Unrest in 1922, so 100 years ago. Garvey says, the human race is universally disturbed because of the many injustices inflicted upon the masses by the dominant powers. The privileged classes have for centuries dominated the will of the masses, and it would appear have ground out the toiling millions the last drop of sweat. These millions are now in rebellion. They are striking everywhere in England, France, Germany, America, and other parts of the world. Those who are not on strike are shaking their fists in bloody revolution as a protest against their industrial and political systems of the day. In this big noise for world readjustment in the affairs of the human race, 400 million Negroes cry out for better consideration and for justice. That's an interesting one, but that was a short one. Let's see what else.
Yeah, that was during the time of, you said 1922?
That's was the title of it, Universal Unrest in 1922.
Yeah, that was during the time of the Tulsa and Rosewood destruction of the cities and the race riot.
But it was some world, was Hitler was around in that time as well, wasn't he?
Not, yeah, and Stalin and all them.
Yeah, so globally it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wars. Like we'll go cause of wars. Let's see. Purpose of creation, page 37. Wait. Nah. Ooh, no, we're going. Let me hit 36 first. Title. Let me get some water. Page 36, title of this essay is Great Ideals, No Nationality. My enemies in America have done so much to hold me to public contempt and ridicule, but have failed. They believe the only resort is to stir up national prejudice against me, and that I was born within the borders of the United States of America. And that I was, I was not born within the United States of America. That was the only thing they could hold against him, nationality. I'm not in the least concerned about such a propaganda, because I have traveled the length and breadth of America, and I have discovered that among the 15 million of my race, only those who have exploited and live off the ignorance of the masses are concerned with where I was born. The masses of the people are looking for leadership. They desire sincere, honest guidance in racial affairs. As proof of this, I mentioned that the largest number of members in the Universal Negro Improvement Association, of which I am President General, are to be found in America and are native-born Americans. I know these people so well, and I love them so well that I would not for 1 minute think that they would fall for such an insidious propaganda. All intelligent people know that one's nationality has nothing to do with great ideals and great principles. If because I am a Jamaican, the Negro should not accept the principles of the rights and liberty or the ideal of a free and independent race, then you may well say that Jesus was a Nazarene. The outside world should not accept his doctrine of Christianity because he was, quote unquote, an alien. Because Martin Luther, that's before King, but Martin Luther was born in Germany, the world should not accept the doctrine of Protestantism. Because Alexander Hamilton and Lafayette were not born in America, Americans should not accept and appreciate the benefits they bestowed upon the nation. Because Marconi was an Italian, we of the New World should not make use of wireless telegraphy. Again, I say, great principles, great ideals know no nationality. I know no national boundary where the Negro is concerned. The whole world is my province until Africa is free. I like that one.
Yeah, that was profound there.
Yeah, they try to and that goes into some of the W.E.B. Boyce disagreement, from my understanding.
That's what I was thinking too.
From my understanding, like people were looking at Garvey as if he was an outsider, and who was he to lead, Africans in America. So
yeah, right. But Du Bois had some weird beliefs, man. I mean, he was a Pan-Africanist, but some of the stuff he believed in was out there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's what this course is about. That's what this study guide is about. Getting that deeper level of understanding. I was gonna say a lot of us know Garvey, but not many of us know Garvey in general. But the ones that do, we know him on a surface level.
Yeah.
But
he's been almost not really hidden, but his teachings haven't been universal. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. But I would argue to an extent his teachings have been buried, and disguised as something else.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know. But Garvey, when you really look at his teaching, he's very dynamic. He goes into some deep places, but he maintains a fairly balanced approach.
Yeah. But you think about the time that he was doing this, and it really it's outstanding, man.
Man.
it's outstanding because his main rivals was Du Bois and was it Booker T or Benjamin? Yeah, Booker T, wasn't it?
What do you mean? What's the question?
Wasn't Booker T one of his main rivals?
Not at all. Booker T was his inspiration.
Well, who else? It was, I know Du Bois and somebody else.
Well, I'm not gonna say that he had a rivalry with Tuskegee. He came to America to meet Booker T. Washington. Like I
Right.
said, that was his hero. Booker T. Washington had passed by the time he got here, but Garvey did look to Tuskegee for support, and they didn't really give him support as he was looking for it. So I'm not gonna say that they were against him, but they didn't really support him.
Yeah, okay, okay. But there was another, I was reading about another leader. I just can't think right now.
Another leader against Garvey,
Yeah,
other than Du Bois
yeah.
in the United States. Let me think. I don't know. Well, I mean, let me see. We teach that well, Dr. Tony Martin teaches in the book Race First that there were five major enemies against Garvey. One was the American powers, that's the United States government. Two is the European powers or European government. Number three was the communists. That was the major political party at the time, or political rivalry to democracy at the time. And then
Yeah.
four was integrationists, which would include W.B. Du Bois, and there are others in there like A. Philip Randolph, some other names, but they were all under the umbrella of integrationists slash NAACP. And then he said that there were those within our race, like the gentleman at the assassination attempt and things like that.
Yeah.
But specifically, I just know W.B. Du Bois, and there were some individuals that were part of the NAACP or related to the NAACP that were against Garvey with the Marcus Garvey Must Go campaign. It wasn't just W.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, it was a group. They also Garvey came out against them because they had this document written about blacks who were lighter skinned than other blacks were better, or they were trying to say they were better. And Garvey didn't like that.
Yeah. There was a light skin supremacy component to NAACP in Garveyism and in the UNIA and in Division 421. We don't teach any level of colorism at all.
No, we shouldn't. I don't think.
Teach one standard race, of our people that comes in many different shades and shapes and nationalities and languages. But
yeah, right. I mean, I thought Du Bois was kind of. I thought that was out there.
I mean,
because he was saying that some people should bleach their skin.
Oh wow! See, yeah, now that Garvey, Garvey was definitely against that.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, there was a different time, and that's going back to what you said. That's why I give Garvey respect and credit, for who he was and what he stood for in that time. In regards to W.B. Du Bois, it's hard to defend him. Only thing I can say was he was young, maybe, and his opinions developed, and hopefully
Well,
changed over
he
time.
got, I think, now that I've learned a little more about him, he got a lot of his credentials because he went to Harvard, you know.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And you know, he had a lot of those ideas with him, you know, and I kind of I kind of lost a little bit of respect for him, you know.
The way Garvey teaches it, I mean, we give a piece of respect for him making it through Harvard and things like that. But we teach that there has to be a balance in education. You know, we can't just be educated by Caucasians, you know, or
Right.
by others. If we don't balance it with an education from our own institutions, then we could be working against our race, you know, or we could have been taught that way to work against ourselves.
Right.
And that
And
brings
we have that.
the bleaching and things like that.
Yeah. But not only that, in thinking, you know, some of our people just, they don't respect us, you know. I mean, it's like, who's this guy? This guy comes on Fox TV. This black dude will say anything to get the approval of these whiteys. And I mean, it is bad. This guy's bad, man. He needs his butt kicked. I can't think of the guy's name though. He has a radio show too down south, but this guy is bad, man. He talks about us like a dog, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask him where that teaching comes from.
Just, you know, I think this guy, first of all, I think he's getting paid.
Of course.
So he'll say anything to get a dollar bill, you know. And then he gets the limelight for being on TV all the time, you know. And I think that's all that's to it. You know, it's just he's not strong enough to even be worth the TV time they give him, you know. He's just a chump, man. He the other day, him and this girl were on there. This girl, she's been known to be way out there. Her name is Candace something.
Candace Owens.
They were talking about how black people should be grateful that the Roe v. Wade is getting ready to end because it will save them a lot of trouble and save a lot of lives for them to build up the race, you know. And I thought, man, how they gonna turn that around? You know, because with what they're trying to do, you can see that they don't care nothing about the kids really, because they're not giving any after programs after the child is born or anything. They're not setting up any programs or any funding, you know, because a lot of the women are poor and they're not going to be able to support those kids, you know. And they won't talk about that, you know. It's just all phony to me, it seems like. But what's the name of that book, man? I gotta write that down.
Well, the book we read?
I got two of them on Garvey, and I think I got the wrong one.
Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey.
Okay.
Which ones did you get?
I got, hold on a second. What I'm reading there is selected writings and speeches of Mark Garvey.
Okay, that one's not bad.
Okay.
That one's not bad. That's probably in my mind, that's like fourth or fifth in importance of all the Garvey books.
Okay. And then I got it's on the internet. I can't get to it right now. It's on my tab. I'm looking at the tab. There's something else about his speeches.
It's another book about his speeches.
Yeah, I can't think of the title of it right now.
Yeah, I've got selected writings and speeches as well.
Yeah. I tell you, I wish I had known, I wish I had read some of this stuff earlier in my life, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I'm learning a lot, man, about who he was, and I can see why he became the man he became. And it's really a shame, man, what they did to him, man, for all he did, man, and for them to treat him like that, man, it just shows you how despicable, man, the government can be, man.
Yeah, it knows when there's a threat that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I was looking at a thing today about some of the political prisoners who are still in jail, man, like Asada Shakur, like they're still trying to demean her. And Dr. Shakur, Abu Jamal, it's just crazy, man. These people ain't do nothing except speak out against the government.
Yeah.
And they locked them up for 50, 60 years, man. And then claim they don't have no political prisoners. And people buy that crap.
Yeah. Let me get let me finish off page 37, then we'll close out.
Okay.
Next one's short. So these two are short. Next one is a purpose of creation. The man or woman who has no confidence in self is in, oh wait, yeah, we're on page 37. Purpose of creation. The man or woman who has no confidence in self is an unfortunate being and is really a misfit in creation. God Almighty created each and every one of us for a place in the world, and for the least of us to think we are created only to be what we are not, what we can make ourselves, is to impute an improper motive to the Creator for creating us. Well, let me read that one again. God Almighty created each and every one of us for a place in the world, and for the least of us to think that we were created only to be what we are and not what we make ourselves. It is to impute an improper motive to the Creator for creating us. I gotta read that one again later.
You're saying that we can make ourselves whatever we want to make ourselves instead of settling for what they say we are.
And for the least of us to think we were created only to be what we are and not what we can make ourselves. Okay, it's to impute an improper motive to the creator for creating us. Okay, to think that we can only be what we are instead of what we were created for, what we can make
Yeah,
ourselves. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, that's
It's a little bit more. God Almighty created us all to be free. That the Negro race became a race of slaves was not the fault of God Almighty, the divine master. It was the fault of the race. Sloth, neglect, indifference caused us to be slaves. Confidence, conviction, action will cause us to be free men today. So that's purpose of creation. Last one is purity of race. It's just a couple paragraphs. I believe in a pure Black race, just as how all self respecting whites believe in a pure white race, as far as that can be. I am conscious of the fact that slavery brought upon us the course of many colors within the Negro race, but that is no reason why we ourselves should perpetuate the evil. Hence, instead of encouraging a wholesale bastardy of the race, we feel that we should now set out to create a race type and standard of our own, which could not in the future be stigmatized by bastardy, but could be recognized and respected as the true race type, anteceding even our own time. Okay, but yeah, I'll stop there for tonight.
yeah, okay.
You have any questions, comments before we move to close?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so let me see. Yeah, I don't know if I will. Well, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna keep. I just this was the first evening, so I just wanted to start close to the beginning. Probably should have read the introduction and everything, but I guess I can do that next time. So, and I wanted to read. I finally found what I was looking for. There's one message to Garvey membership of Universal Negro Association from the Atlanta prison. That's one I really like as well. It's long, so that'll be like a whole class itself.
Okay.
Thank you, Brother Art, for joining this evening. Let's see, our next UNIA meeting is not this Sunday. This Sunday is CVPM meeting, and then following Sunday UNIA meeting. So
Yeah, okay.
I look forward to speaking with you then. And wait, let me close out. One God,
One God,
one aim,
one aim,
one destiny.
one destiny.
All right, let me stop the
Reach
record.
first.
Race first.